What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. This time it's Iron Man Mark 50 from Hot Toys, and you can order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link down below. It's currently sold out, but just hang in there because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a restock of this guy, kind of like Doctor Strange. So yeah, just keep an eye on it if you are in the market for one, and you should be. It's an excellent figure. Box, typical Infinity War box here, but not in line with their die-cast figures though. I'm a bit surprised because typically on die-cast this is a bit more premium, meaning the box is kind of laminated, has that gloss in it. This one does not, you know, it just looks like a black box with some writing on it, so it just doesn't feel like a typical die-cast, even though it's really expensive. I think it's outside of their War Machine, this is one of their most expensive die-cast. And you can take this out. You can see the familiar styrofoam here. Don't open it vertical, always lay it down because the figure would fall right off, like this head. It didn't fall off, but you know, it's well protected. So you can see the Tony Stark head right there. And as far as the accessories, you're gonna get the typical array of hands from Iron Man, the repulsor hands, the articulated finger hands, and the one that's included in the figure is the fisted hands. And it comes with three pretty big accessories, which is the I would call it a booster on his back. So this is what he used to fly around, at least on Infinity War. Did he use this as much? Maybe this is a booster. Maybe it's used to fly. I don't know, man. I don't know. He had this jetpack on his not a jetpack, on his feet, that kind of like a thruster. But you can get that separately if you buy the accessories pack for a really cheap price of $250. Yeah, another figure basically. So do not buy that, please. Just buy another figure. If you really want to burn $250, I would suggest. I mean, it's your money. You can do whatever you want. But the accessory is nice. It's made out of plastic, and I'm glad, because otherwise it would put a lot of stress on the figure, and it might not be good for the joints. They might develop arthritis or whatever, but you don't want that. The only thing that kind of concerns me about this pack is that on the back, it's really nice and seamless. It's so seamless that the thing on the back attaches. There's like a small portion that attaches to the figure, and I'm just worried that over time that might create fading or just scratches on the figure itself. I wish they would have included like those black foams that they underneath the chin of the head sculpt. I wish they would have included one of those, but yeah, I don't plan on putting that there for a long time anyway. But and who knows, maybe I'm just speculating here. But this is another huge piece that it comes with. Not sure what it's called. We'll just call them blasters, a gun or a Voltron looking kind of thing. It has teeth. A lot of people are gonna comment. It's like, you didn't do your research. I don't want to do any research, man. It's a lot of work. It's already a lot of work to begin with, but you get the idea. It's a beautiful piece. It actually does light up. It shines through that. So when you insert this, you gotta remove the actual arm, sort of like in Star Wars. You kind of remove the arm of Darth Vader or Kylo Ren, any light up figure that you have that has a lightsaber. So that's kind of what you have to do. And on the other side, this is more of a forearm accessory. So you just remove the forearm and include this and snap this on instead. So you don't need to remove the entire arm, just the forearm plate, so to speak. And so you can see they're very nice details. So I'm assuming, I've seen some reviews of the accessory pack just for kicks. I don't really want to buy that nor spend $250 on it, but I'm still interested in how it looks like. So if it is anywhere close to the to materials of this one, and then I would say it looks good. Still not worth $250, but it looks good. Maybe $120. If it goes on sale for $120, which is I highly doubt it, I hope not a lot of people buys that accessory pack, so Hot Toys can just drop this one. I feel like if it doesn't sell that much, either they're not gonna do it anymore, so at least we don't have to worry about buying it, because right now there's a little bit of doubt, or they're gonna include some of it into the figure. Maybe not all of it, but half of it, or maybe a quarter of it. Again, I can live with the included accessories on this one. As much as I would love to have that shield and that battle damage faceplate, I'm not gonna pay $250 for it. Again, maybe $120, maybe. And as far as the figure itself, initially, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You know what? Let's talk about the hips because this is somewhat controversial. The reason I got this review so far behind is because I didn't not a big fan of the initially I didn't pre-order this. Wasn't a big fan of the design, and it's not Hot Toys' fault. It's more Marvel's. When they announced the prototype, it looks like Blue Beetle from DC, which just wasn't a big fan. This one that you saw earlier was his hips. A lot of people are complaining about the hips. It kind of got me worried a little bit, but when I saw the actual figure, it's like it's not that big of a deal. So I'm telling you right now, if you're on the fence for this one, it's still, I would say, in pre-order status on some retailers. Go ahead and buy so. Don't let that bother you. Now, if you're bothered by the fact that it doesn't come with the accessory pack, that's one thing. If you just want to take a stance, then I even respect that. But if you're worried about the hips, don't. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't care about the hips really. It looks great as it is. Now the overall design, I'm more of a mech guy, so I like Mark IV. I like the first 7 because it looks like a robot, like a person inside a robot. Now I like 46 because it's a good hybrid, so I did buy 46 because it looks like a robot but more of a tight-fitting suit, so it's more of a hybrid between organic looking and a robot. This is more like organic. This reminds me more of Mark 45, which is I didn't buy that figure. I thought the accessories were lacking. There's no second head sculpt, so I just didn't bother. Plus, Age of Ultron I wasn't the biggest fan. I did like the movie, but I got rid. Let's just put it this way: I got rid of all my Age of Ultron figures outside of Hawkeye because you just can't sell them. But other than that, I don't mind keeping him. The Ronin figure looks good, but it's kind of like Hawkeye as well, so I don't mind if I don't sell him ever. But as far as this figure is concerned, like I said, initially wasn't the biggest fan, but after watching the movie, this is where the movie kind of sways me. It's like this magic spell that they put on me. It's like I didn't like the figure, I didn't like the design, and then now I love it. But I'm glad that the movie changed my mind because it's an epic figure. The figure is just great. Outside of being a character, it's just nicely done. Good job by Hot Toys here, and you know how critical I am sometimes to Hot Toys, and I still am. When it comes to their pricing, their business model, and their quality control issues and all that stuff. But with this guy right here, I think they nailed it. I think gotta give them props when they serve it. One of the best figures I have, and probably my favorite Iron Man that they released, and that's saying much because I pretty much held all of them. I didn't own I pretty much held all of them, didn't keep all of them. I only have 2 in my possession right now, which is this and Mark IV. It'll end up probably being 4, Mark 7 included and Mark 85, and after that that's it. I don't know if they're gonna make more though, but the chest piece right here, it's one of the largest chest pieces because I got the 46 before I sold it, and I tried putting the chest piece in and I couldn't. I have a torso 46 was just sold on eBay, extra torso, but so I tried that. Looks cool, but might as well sell it. And this is the internal of the chest piece. You can see his arc reactor obviously is a bit different looking from his previous suit, but that's a good thing as well. And also the face, that beautiful move by Hot Toys here to include that as one piece. So this is how easy to turn on and off. Going back to the old 42 where it's so tedious. 7 was not bad. The 6, there's 2 steps. This is just one step. You take it off, switch the flip on, and that's it. You turn the lights on. I wish it would have at least included the battle damage faceplate, but then again, it's their business. That's how they run things. They don't care about you, about money, which is kind of weird because they're about collection. So they cater to a bunch of people who is passionate about things. But hey, it is what it is. Hopefully, there's a third-party manufacturer that manufactures this, battle damage faceplate. I wish that somebody would. On eBay, I would definitely be interested in one. Or if not, then I'll just have to wait for Marks. I kind of like that idea that you can interchange parts. The only one that I could remember, I mean, 42 did that, but not to this extent. But Mark 7, the plastic one, that's beautiful, and they're gonna do the same thing in die-cast version. And the head sculpt, beautiful head sculpt. It's a reuse head sculpt from Mark 46 without the black eye, and 47 used this as well with the eyes slightly to the left. But this one's just looking straightforward. Looks really, really well. You know, I understand that 85 is the more accurate depiction of Robert Downey in this day and age. You know, he's older in the Infinity War and Endgame. But it doesn't mean that this head sculpt is bad. It is actually pretty good. One of the reasons why I bought Mark 46 to begin with is because of this head sculpt, and I really don't mind keeping this. As a matter of fact, since I got this, I like the Iron Man helmet version, but it's such a shame that this one stays in a box or in my accessories cabinet. So I'm planning to buy those arc reactor third-party suits. So I'll put a body in it, because look at this. I mean, that is a beautiful head sculpt right there. That you can't go wrong, man. Look at that. Look at all those wrinkles, his beard or mustache, or the wrinkles on his forehead. Just a beautiful head sculpt. Well done by Hot Toys. And again, I know it's a reuse. I have 46, which I had 46, and I didn't have 47. I wasn't really a big fan of that. Outside of it's rare, a lot of people are going crazy about it, but to each his own. I personally didn't buy it for retail. I could have. I didn't want to, still don't. But if somebody gives it to me, of course I'll take it. But yeah, this is a really nice head sculpt. You can buy the third-party sunglasses as well if you want to. Kind of like what he used on. They should have included that, by the way, the one that he used on New York when he's asking Friday. And I understand that, but I don't know where it went when he wore that and transformed into this nano suit. Where did the glasses go? I gotta rewatch the movie. And as far as height comparison, this is him. Iron Spider looks really small right next to him. We all know that die-cast Iron Man is a bit oversized anyway. It's no exception for this figure. He is way oversized. He's taller. It doesn't look that much taller against Doctor Strange, but trust me, he is that much taller. And the same goes. And Thor is a big guy. I don't know why he's so much taller than these two guys, because Robert Downey is a short guy as well. But I guess there's an elevator shoe or something. Maybe he's stepping on something on the foot of this robot. This is not a robot anymore, though. This is like a nano suit. It just warps into his body. So I don't think he got knee extenders. So I don't know. And this is a die-cast figure. And there's a bit of weight into it, but once you hold him, it doesn't feel like it's too heavy. And this is low-key, no die-cast parts, just good old figure. You can see it's 0.69. Let's just say 0.7 pounds, and this is in pounds. So under 1 pound, and that's what you would expect from a standard figure. This is Mark 50, and I made him fully loaded, put all the accessories in, so that would maybe add a little bit weight to the figure compared to not having them. So it's 1.80. So let's just say 1.81 pounds, almost 2 pounds, almost. But then again, like I said, it's die cast, but when you hold them, especially if you had other die casts, you'll be like, it's not that much of a die cast. And especially when you hold them, when it's cold, you're holding steel. Not so much in this figure. This is Mark 4. I would say this is pretty solid die cast. No accessories whatsoever, right? Compared to Mark 50, no big guns, nothing. And let's say 1.92. Still a lot heavier, even without those. Because if you took out his accessories, I believe he is 1.6 something. But that shouldn't deter you. Again, the weight and it being die cast, it feels like a sturdy figure. You feel the weight, it's die cast. It's just a little bit on the lighter side, but don't let that deter you. I am hyping this figure up for those who doesn't have it yet. I don't know if you noticed. And no, I don't have any stocks with Hot Toys. Not like other reviewers out there who everything's great. When I like something, I go all out. I just say the good points in it, and I keep it real, man. I say the bad points, and in here, They say the pad points are the hips. No, not to me. I would say the accessories, and the price is the only thing that I have against this figure, because I just got Mark IV, and Mark IV was like $60 cheaper. And the only thing that's is that those accessories, the huge ones, and if they made this, like $240 without those, I would still buy it. Would prefer it actually, because I don't know where to store the big one, the big back piece in this back. Really, the two ones I can put it on. I put this little thing on my accessories, but the big one, I don't want to keep the box inside the house just to store that thing in there. So, I gotta put it somewhere. So I wrapped it up with some plastic so it doesn't rub off against something and get it all scratched up. But yeah, I would have taken the 240 or even the 260 without that back piece. I would have survived. And this is him with all the lights on. This is more bright than 46. 46 is a lot of lights, but this one takes the cake. Look at that. That is beautiful right there. And the lights are bright. They're bright as well. Let's turn this on. This is him shooting somebody with that gun. Pretty nice. And yeah, beautiful figure. Look at those shoulder gaps. You can easily hide them. You remember those times in Mark 42 where there's like a ball on the side. You can clearly see where the joints are at. This is so seamless. Beautiful. Look at those lights in the back. He got some lights in the back as well. Can't say much enough about this figure. Really nice. And look at him turning around here, shooting someone, and you can put him in a flying pose. The rod is not that I wouldn't trust the rod too much though. If you're gonna display him, there's a lot of weight in this one, so you might wanna check your balance again if you are planning to put him in a flying pose. But beautiful figure. One complaint that I do have is the lights on in his inside armpit. Yeah, I didn't put it here, but this is him fully loaded. You can see the lights in there. Beautiful. Look at the back piece. You got to be careful in the back piece though. I'll show you later when we turn this around, because the clamp, when you got that little thing on his back, you got to be careful, because when you put the clamps on, it's not an even surface. It's kind of protruding out. It's a bit of a weird look you can see here. So you got to make sure you're within the grooves or a little bit higher. So you probably needs to go higher than what you normally do on his waist right there, because this one would hit that bottom part and you don't want to crack anything. That's plastic, made out of plastic. So you just got to be careful when putting this in. But look at that. Nice. Really nice. Blue Beetle right there. I should Photoshop this to blue. But love the movie, man. Love the movie so much that this is a must-have for me and for anyone who collects Hot Toys. Even if you're not an Iron Man fan, if you just need one Iron Man for your collection, I would say this would be it. There's a few more coming out, like 7, probably one, a die-cast one. A lot of people are, wanting that. But with the movie, with his character in the movie, with the action scenes, you can make an argument that this is the suit compared to 85. And I know 85 is more a traditional gold and kind of reminds you of the old school Iron Man, but this guy is just I don't know what to say, man. I'm a bit biased here. Love the movie. It translated very well in the figure. Good job by Hot Toys. Can't recommend this enough. Die-cast. The price is a little bit higher than what I wanted, but it is what it is. What can we do? One of the few Iron Mans left, at least as far as I know. I don't know, maybe they're continue to pump things out. This is their cash cow anyway. But yeah, I mean, if you don't want to buy the accessory pack, you don't need to, honestly. The figure itself is just beautiful and lovely. You don't need that shield. I mean, if you want to, go ahead and buy it. But I can't recommend this enough, especially if you're going to buy Thanos or other Infinity War figure, because this one, 85, looks good, but I feel like this is the armor that was used intensively, in those battle scenes with Thanos. And yes, 85 has some memorable scenes with it as well, but not as intricate as this one when he used all his gadgets. So again, if you're gonna buy this figure, click the link down below. It really helps the channel out. But With that being said, thank you for watching, guys, and supporting the channel. As always, hit me up in the comments down below what you think about the figure. Are you gonna pick it up or just wait for 85? Don't wait for 85, just pick this one up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I would see you guys in the next review.